Today's June 29th, 2017, getting ready for a long weekend.
Yeah, welcome to the Invest 2 podcast, Andrew. It's great to be back on with you.
All right, so, man, what a day. I'm feeling pain, big pain.
It was odd. I mean, we had the CCAR and the basically they sounded the all clear for all the financials yesterday. That came late in the day, and of course, after hours, we tracked many of those stocks making pretty darn big moves. I mean, JP the Comprehensive Capital Analysis and Review, that's why we call it CCAR, that came in and basically everybody got a clean bill of health, Andrew. I mean, JP the Fed did not object to their CCAR plan and approved, dividend increases for most of these firms. That's everybody from JP Morgan to Citigroup to Wells Fargo to Bank America Merrill. I mean, you just go through the list, and they have clearly outperformed the S&P over the last month. I think my latest numbers showed that they were up, they being these financials, the XLF, was up 5% over the last 30 days. The S&P 500 was actually down over the same 30-day period. It's been back and forth, of course, as tech stocks go up and down. But this was certainly good for these stocks and probably kicked off some of the end-of-quarter rotation that we're witnessing now.
And we got a big weekend coming up.
Yep. People like, shoring up their positions into big weekends just in case. And since it is the end of a quarter, I mean, this is tomorrow, the last trading day of the second quarter of 2017. A lot of folks that have some nice gains don't necessarily have to sell them, but in many cases they want to lock them in with something. And, I think we would both say that the likelihood of some of the selling that we've seen in the everything from stocks to purchasing of calls in the VIX and so forth is part of that rotation.
Yeah, I keep telling myself that this is a weekend thing. It's coming into a long weekend. I keep telling myself this. I don't know if I believe it or not.
Right
I have to. I mean, it's, this is where the rubber meets the road, right? Can you hold?
Yeah.
Or do you freak out?
It is. And it's also the last few trading days of the old legacy platform of Trade Monster, which is, of course, was purchased by E-Trade. And the platform that Andrew and I loved and built is now going to be changing because they will no longer have access to that legacy platform, as I understand it.
It's kind of funky. I mean, I'm trying to get used to the new platform they have, and I don't know. I was trying to scroll down to find, like for instance, I'm in RAD. I'm still in that POS. And I'm trying to find out, okay, what's the stories? I'm trying to read the stories, and I couldn't scroll down for some reason. I don't know. I guess they'll work it out. I found the news story somewhere else, but I was there at my fingertips trying to play with it, and I wasn't able to do it.
Well, you got a bunch of interns there in the office too, don't you, Andrew?
Yes,
still?
They're here. So,
are they working hard or hardly working?
They're working hard, finding out all that unusual activity for, I guess, are you working on a new book? I mean, I know what you're doing, but is that what you're doing?
That's one of the things I'm doing, yeah.
Okay. Because the other book's doing okay,
and
right?
They're helping out with it, I guess,
Yep.
right?
Well, that's good. Okay. Anything else in the headlines catching your fancy on this Thursday?
Well, let's see. The rotation seems pretty real. And, if you're somebody who's never really been part of these things, folks, rotation is, of course, the market, when we refer to it as the market, moves up and down, and it moves up and down, of course, by S&P measures anyway, by the likes of the XLE, which is the energy sector spider, or the XLF, which is the financial sector spider, or any number of other segments of the market. If you have a true rotation where you've got money being pulled out of technology, like the XLK, and rotating into the XLF, the financials, for instance, or some of the energy stocks that are also seeing some love today, you can see the market weather a pretty aggressive selling in one sector as long as money is rotating into these others. But the problem is the money is rotating out of what is now the biggest sector in the market, which is technology. It's not healthcare, it's not financials, it's technology. And that's because of the runs that Amazon and Apple and Netflix and everybody have had in the first 180 days of the year. And they're rotating into some of the other sectors, some of which are much smaller than they were this time last year, because, like, energy obviously is down for the year pretty hard. So its impact on the S&P is less. And so unless they put dollar for dollar back into those other areas, it ends up being a drawdown in the market, and that's what I think we've witnessed here today. We're down 200 points, or about 0.9% for the Dow, and S&P and NASDAQ likewise seeing some easing in prices.
Well, I'm not going to let it freak me out for now. In general.
Yeah, I wouldn't let it.
No, it's, like I said, big weekend coming up, and I could, take this as sort of like a catalyst, but I'm just, I know what it is. I've been here before, you've been here before, so nothing fundamentally, I don't think, has changed going forward. So I'll be fine.
Well, as far as on the Investute site, Andrew, we've seen in the first hour I saw a ton, and I mean a ton, of put buying in the financial names, and it looked to me to be not like huge speculative out of the money, bets that something could triple or quadruple on a big drop in the fins, but rather people putting on protective positions. And I'll define that, Andrew, as people that see at the money or just out of the money protection, much like a zero deductible insurance for a car. They want to lock in some of the prices they've seen here. And I don't blame them. Like I say, some of these stocks are up 7 to 12% in the last 30 days. Why not set a floor on it and let them continue to run? And then you're not worried. That's what appears to be happening in these financial stocks. But there was a big call spread. I think you saw it. 15,000 of the October 95 calls in JP Morgan versus 15,000 short of the October 100s. You do a trade like that, why would you do it? Well, because you're putting roughly $1.20 down to own a $5 spread. So $1.20 is your total risk. You've addressed time decay as well as volatility compression. And if the stock continues to climb, that $1.20 that you invested could become as much as $5, which would be a solid triple, almost a quadruple in the next basically 3 months till the October expiration. So that's the sort of things I'm seeing that are catching my eye today.
Just to recap that's the 15,000 October 95 calls bought for $214.
In JP Morgan. Yes,
JPM. There was 1376, there, and now there's 15,000 traded against that. That's actually a pretty big trade.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's take a note. All right.
And, I think tomorrow it'll start to feel like a holiday because we're heading into a holiday. We will trade on Monday because by federal law, we cannot be closed 4 days unless they declare an emergency. So we can't be closed Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's a no-no, unless, of course, they declare an emergency. They've done that during world wars. They've also done that after 9/11. But that's why we will open on Monday, but it'll feel like we're not even here because there will be half a day of trading. The CBOE will close at, I believe, 12 noon. So the New York Stock Exchange, of course, at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's a half day. That's 3 hours early. And it'll feel worse than that.
It's funny, though.
When I say worse, I mean, it'll be tired.
And we'll have the interns go get coffee.
Yeah, just keep sending them out for coffee.
All right, man.
All right. Well, remember, folks, we try to give you little insights into the markets and sometimes pop culture and so forth here with the podcast. If you like it, tell a friend. You can always subscribe through either YouTube or iTunes and shoot us a comment. And if we use your comment on air, we'll try to send you something special for you being nice enough to leave a nice comment. So thank you and have a great day.